Hello everyone, it's me again, and it's been about a month since I've posted a video. I was in India. Well, let me tell you, now usually you might ask someone why they would even want to go there. Well, in case you're blind, I don't want to do a Lily Pons here, but I am Indian. I mean, it's pretty obvious I come from somewhere there. So naturally we go there to see my relatives. Relatives meaning grandparents. And not to mention, as all old people, they're very stubborn. Now you might be thinking, India's still back in the days when they charm snakes, which for the most part they do. I've never seen a snake performance myself though. So we just, it's pretty modernized actually. Like they've got malls and stuff, shit like that. But no, because my grandparents live in an actual dungeon. It's just a concrete box with bars for windows. And there's no AC, and it's in the most humid place possible. Like, just search up West Bengal right now and search up the humidity. It sucks. It sucks. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so glad I'm back. Every time I go there, it makes me more happy that I'm American. Anyway, that's not the main point of the video. What I wanted to talk about today is actually quite interesting, and it's been around for a while, really. It's, well, they're called Juggalos. I should start out with that. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's time to start the video. I don't even know if we rolled the intro by this point, but I'll figure that out in the editing stage. So, you might be thinking to yourself, Juggalos, I've heard that name before. Well, you wouldn't be wrong, actually. These guys have been around for as long as the Insane Clown Posse has been around. What's the Insane Clown Posse, you might be thinking? Well, well, I don't know how to describe it, but it is a scream rap band, something like that, scream rock, whatever. I've listened to what they do nowadays. It's kind of like rap. I don't really care for rap myself. Some people do. Some people think it's trash. I think I fall in the category in between. But these guys are very strange. Obscure taste in music. Juggalos are essentially fans. Yeah, it's just their fan base, yeah. Only obscure thing here is their taste in music. Now you might be thinking, is that the end of the video? Half of it. Yeah, half. Let's just say those are just fans. But then there comes the religion. Yeah, that's right, guys. We found a religion. They were called Juggalo Faith. And believe it or not, you don't have to completely submit yourself to this religion of Juggaloism. That's what it's called. Basically, what Juggalo Faith believes in is a dark carnival. The best way to think of this is a purgatory. So, I guess if you're like a Protestant Christian, I don't know if they believe in purgatories. I know Catholics do. You can be any religion, really, and you can believe in a purgatory, kind of. It just means, it's the waiting stage in between heaven or hell. Now, the way this works is, you might be wondering how exactly a religion formed out of this. Well, they released a series of albums that develop the theme of a dark carnival. And the people that listened to those albums, the Juggalos, started to connect the dots, the message that was relayed to them through these albums, right? And they've built up a whole mythos on it. And at the end of it all, if you listen to some of the lyrics that these guys say, the end message is, follow God's word or whatever, and you'll be good. How wholesome is that? If you've ever listened to an Insane Clown Posse song, which I dare you to do, I dare you. I fucking dare you to go search up Insane Clown Posse and listen to one of their songs. You'll agree with me that it's some of the weirdest and fucked up shit you've ever heard. Really weird. Anyway, I didn't go through and listen to every song because I couldn't. I listened to one at the earliest part of their career, and then now what they're doing. I must say they made a change for the better, in my opinion. And so that's kind of how the religion started. The people started taking what the two men in the band, which I need to find their names, what they were preaching throughout all their albums, and that's how the religion became a thing. I guess you could call it an extension of religion, because it doesn't require you to baptize or anything. It's not an official religion. It's like an extension of what you already believe in. So basically, this purgatory, right? There's more to it than you think. There is in this purgatory, in this thing called the Dark Carnival, which is their purgatory, sort of. It decides whether you're gonna go to heaven, which is Shangri-La. That's what they call it. That was the name of the album too, Shangri-La. Or you go to Hell's Pit. Was that also an album? I don't know. Those are the two places you'll go. One is heaven, one is hell, essentially. That's all. And what that means is, the in-between stage is where you find out your fate. And in this Dark Carnival, there are 6 Joker cards. I'm pretty sure they also had their own sort of individual albums, I guess, or songs at least. And the Insane Clown Posse fleshed out each of these characters. All 6 of them, actually. These 6 cards of the Jokers are like the 6 cards of the Joker are essentially instruments in deciding your fate, really. And these instruments, I guess you could call them forces. So let's see here. The first, I guess, is the first Joker card is the Carnival of Carnage. I'm not making this. Whatever I'm about to say, I am not making this up at all. You can search it up. They have their own Juggalopedia. That was one of my main sources when doing this video. I also ran across a Juggalo blog, if you want to go check that out. It should be on the front page. So basically, it's the Carnival of Carnage is the first. It's like the first Joker card. It's a ghetto. It's just a ghetto, and it's a brutal place for those who ignore the real lower class. So basically, what I'm just reading my notes. That was my little synopsis. But it is just a brutal ghetto. It's like slaughter going on everywhere, kind of. That's what the representation it takes. And that's where everyone who's ever ignored what goes on in the real ghettos during their life, they'll go there. And they get to witness that great stuff. Or, they probably get slaughtered themselves, who knows. And I'm pretty sure they just go to hell directly, I guess, through there. It talks about, it's where politicians that ignore class struggles go. It's all that stuff. I mean, I didn't listen to if that was an album or a song, I didn't listen to it, but hell, if just a bunch of goofballs wearing clown makeup, rapping, can flesh that out, kind of makes me interested in listening to it, but, no. Anyway, so the second Joker card is the Ringmaster. As you can see, the theme is basically a circus, a dark carnival. That's what it's called. So basically, the Ringmaster here leads the Phantoms of the Dead, which oversee the Carnival of Carnage. So they just go around, killing people, kind of. And the Ringmaster oversees all of it, huh? Now the Ringmaster, let's see, the Ringmaster is, the ringmaster is supposedly spawns from your own sins during life, I think. So I don't know what that means, but I guess if you how do I describe this? But yeah, they take the form of they spawn from your own sins. So the more sins you commit, I guess the stronger he is. I don't know, something like that. You can be the judge of what that means. And if you do know, please leave it down in the comments, because I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the hell that means. And basically, this is of course one of the paths in the Dark Carnival to go to heaven or hell. He is the judge of the Carnival of Carnage. Whoever gets slaughtered there, he's the judge to whether they go to heaven or they go to hell. Because, you know, people are not so black and white. They don't just commit all sins or commit all saint deeds. I don't know what to call them. They don't commit all good deeds and they don't commit all bad deeds. They do a mix of both. So whether it outweighs, I don't know. This ringmaster guy, second Joker card, decides. And okay, those are the first two Joker cards. They go hand in hand. Next is Jake and Jack. They're like a no. Well, might as well go over it because I spoiled the suspense. Technically, this is the fourth Joker card. Jake and Jack. I don't know. They're like twins, but I don't know their last name. They emerge from candle smoke, okay, and do a juggling act with bloody pulsating balls. So, and each of those balls are supposed to represent the sins that you've done during your life. And I think the reason they're covered in blood is because it's like a mortal sin or something. So the blood is supposed to represent what you did during your life, I guess. Anyway, and basically they do a juggling act. Now, don't get me wrong, these guys are definitely deciding whether you go to heaven or hell, but they do it through a juggling act. So Jack is like the bad guy, I guess, and Jake is the good guy. I don't know. They're twins. So Jack will juggle as many sins as you've been collecting over your lifetime, right? Or done during your life. Jake will basically, they start like swapping balls with each other, or Jack will throw the balls to Jake, and you're watching the whole time as your soul or whatever. And if you witness Jake drop a single one of these balls, you go to hell. Simple enough, right? Yeah. Again, this was formed only out of one song or one album, so whatever the Insane Clown Posse is doing, they're building cults. But let's get to I'll tell you at the end of the video, but it's not all bad, okay? So, that's all for Jake and Jack, right? Next, we have the third riddle box. Shit. Spoiled it again. The third Joker card, which is the riddle box. Wow. So that's the third one. I just went over the fourth one, which is Jake and Jack. So the riddle box is basically a jack-in-the-box. You're basically like thrown into like a dark room with a jack-in-the-box, and you have to turn it, and it makes the creepy sound or whatever. But this is the only way of whether you're gonna know if you're going to heaven or hell. So good for you, bad for you. I don't know what to. Whatever. Great for you. And so it has the answer to your fate, essentially, and it has a question mark on it. So what happens is, at the end of the tune or whatever, as you're cranking, if it's good, it will show you God in all of his glory or ascension or whatever. If bad, fog will seep out from the box and your own evil is shown. Yeah. Now, of course, this is the one Joker card that isn't essentially, it's not a requirement, I think, for you to be dead. Correct me if I'm wrong, but most of whatever is in the Dark Carnival is a purgatory, so you'd assume that you need to be dead for your soul to go there. But this third Joker card, you don't need to be dead. It's basically self-reflection. You look inside yourself and ponder everything you've done during your life. That's what the Jack in the Box represents. It's showing you whether you've done more good or more bad over your life. And so you can change this if your fate is decided as you're going to hell. You can change it with righteous deeds. Pretty simple. I don't know how you get this Jack in the Box. Does it come in a dream? What? No, I don't know. Anyway, 5th Joker card, Great Malenko. It is an illusionist / necromancer. Illusionist is supposed to go along with the theme of the actual carnival. Necromancer is probably what it actually does. Basically, it tricks people into doing sins. Mostly greed. Yeah. So I don't know what the point of tricking someone already dead to do a sin is, but I'm guessing it's to check how much integrity they show. It doesn't sound very great to me as like a 5th Joker card. Okay, all of these cards, like I said, are just to either help you decide your fate of whether you're going to heaven or hell, to decide your fate if you're going to heaven or hell, show you what path you're on, that being the 3rd card. But this 5th one just makes no sense to me, because I guess it could just check how righteous you are, but it doesn't really serve a purpose because you're already dead. I mean, whatever, that's just me. If you're already dead, there's nothing you can do about it. Plus, assuming this is a dark carnival and it's just a supernatural force, it would already know that you're a piece of shit. So making you greedy, it doesn't really, I don't think it's anything useful would be accomplished from that. It's basically reinforcing what's already known about you if you're a bad person. But that's what the Great Malenko is. I don't know where necromancy comes into play, but whatever. Next we have the Wraith. That's the 6th card. It's just death. Yeah, and it sends you to heaven or hell. Shangri-La or the Hell's Pit each got their own album, by the way. Yeah. So that's basically the Dark Carnival. That's the purgatory. That is the Juggalo faith. But there's a culture surrounding it too. And this is an account of only one Juggalo. I'm not sure if he speaks for all, but it seems like this was a very popular post on a blog. Basically, he says that they listen to the ICP, or Insane Clown Posse, and they listen to the teachings of the I don't know what his name is, but songwriter or the rap artist, whatever. They're a duo, but whatever they write there, they listen to essentially. They all believe in the Dark Carnival or whatever, but they keep their religion, and because religion, I don't really know why they don't have like a full-blown religion, but so far all the albums have only talked about the Dark Carnival, not a full actual religion. There's been no more lore, I don't think, added to the Dark Carnival, or Juggalo faith for that matter. So they follow the teachings of teachings. I feel like I'm reviewing a cult. But they don't view ICP as the gods. They don't view the two rappers as Queen's fan base views Freddie Mercury. They have the teaching of whatever he said, right? The Juggalo culture is to treat every other Juggalo the same as you, no matter what race, sex, creed, whatever they are, their sexual orientation, all that good stuff. Whatever it is, don't care about it. Just treat them all like you would treat your family. That's their tenet. That's what they follow. That's just Juggalo culture. that is for the full-blown juggalos. I'm not just saying people who like juggalo music or, insane clown posse music. But yeah, they don't view the actual two band members as any sort of bishop or pope or anything. They just view them. They said if they ever come in contact with them, they would just treat them as any other juggalo, which it's actually quite an admirable tenet, you know. Just to treat everyone the same. If that's whatever their albums have been teaching, honestly, maybe Juggalo Faith isn't that bad after all. Yeah, I mean, after looking at this stuff, it just seems like it's just a fan base that went a little bit too overboard after they found out about the lore. But overall, it's not like they're being taught anything bad. It's not like these guys are using it to their advantage, that they've created essentially a cult out of this. And whatever hidden message there was in any of their albums turned out to actually be good and what most religions should strive to teach. So, in the end, Juggalo Faith might not be such a bad religion after all. Yeah. But that doesn't stop the fact that it is really fucking weird.